In the 1970s and 80s, Foreigner had a string of hits and 6 platinum-selling albums. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame members returned to Calgary on Thursday at the Winsport Event Centre with a very special Canadian connection. Joining me is Geordie Brown, who is a guest vocalist with Foreigner on their Canadian tour. Thank you for speaking with us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, you became part of the Foreigner family, so to speak, when you got the lead role in Jukebox Hero, the play. How did that advance your career?
It's certainly still, the largest scale credit I would have on my resume as a performer. And that all started because I saw an audition call come through back in early 2018. Foreigner and their creative team, specifically Mick Jones, were looking for the cast of this new musical, and they were looking for people who were based in Toronto, because that's kind of the hub of the Canadian theater scene. But I'm based in Halifax, and so I borrowed my mom's air miles and flew myself to Toronto for those auditions, and kind of the rest is history. I got cast in the lead role.
Okay, well, we have to listen to you playing some Foreigner, or singing some Foreigner. Let's have a quick clip here. Of course, that all started out with Lou Gramm singing with Foreigner. When you sing that song, do you understand the gravity of the material you're taking on?
Yeah, it certainly is a balance, though. It's a balance that I kind of teeter on, because it's kind of overwhelming if I really fully kind of acknowledge it and embrace it. It is a lot to take on. But if I go too much in the other direction and I'm kind of numb to it, there are certainly times when I'm singing material like that, and I have to remind myself, it's like, this is incredible to have the opportunity to really, with that song, it really feels like a community event, because everybody's singing along with us. And so I just happen to be leading it, because that song is a legend in and of itself.
Jukebox Hero, the play, debuted here in Calgary. You must have a special affinity for this city.
I really, really do. That was an incredibly exciting time in my life. We debuted that huge musical at the Southern Jubilee Auditorium in Calgary. Played about a week there, and then we went to Edmonton for about another week. And so I love Calgary. I have very, very fond, special memories of that. And the crowds were just incredible. I feel so lucky. I feel like all the cast was so lucky that Foreigner chose to debut that musical in Canada. Calgary was a huge part of that.
So it started in Calgary, went to Edmonton, and you did a run in Toronto as well. Were there ever hopes that it would come to Broadway?
Yeah, they were building that show at such a scale so that it could transfer to Broadway. My understanding was, specifically once we were in Toronto at one of the Mirvish theaters there, because you really can't get any bigger, any more commercial than those Mirvish theaters in downtown Toronto. My understanding is that they did invite some kind of key stakeholders from New York, investors, producers, to see the show. And we were also teeing up a North American tour to build some hype as well. But as we know, we had a pandemic that started in 2020.
So that was several years ago. Do you feel, are you rusty with the material now that you've come back to it in 2025?
If I'm being honest, yeah. I did a live on my Instagram the other night, and I was saying to people, I don't wake up every morning singing Cold as Ice and Hot Blooded and Dirty White Boy. And it's certainly, I consider myself, I'm quite proud that I can sing a lot of different material. But this Foreigner material, I really got to be on my A game. It really taps into the most extreme parts of my range. It has taken a little bit of time since I knew that this tour was coming. It's taken a little bit of time to kind of get myself back up to snuff, and not just with my technique and the physical nature of singing, but also mentally too. I really had to hype myself up, and frankly, I think it took a few shows on this tour to fully get back to that rock star mindset. Okay, I can do this.
I understand you have quite a background in musical theater, and that includes a play that you produced on Anne Murray. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Anne Murray. I love her music, love her as a singer, but I also love the story of her career. I am such a proud Nova Scotian, and to see how she navigated the music industry, and how she was such a trailblazer, especially for women in the music industry. But that she always stayed true to her roots, to herself. She is still a down to earth East Coaster. There's no question, and so her career really inspires me, and I really admire her. And so, yeah, back in 2019, shortly after we did our Toronto run of Jukebox Hero, I think I really kind of had the new musical bug, I guess. I was developing with a co-writer. It was a musical called Could I Have This Dance? And we debuted it in Halifax in line with her center that she has in Nova Scotia. It's like a museum and a center tribute to her career, the Anne Murray Center. They were having their 30th anniversary. And so we partnered with them and launched this musical. And again, a few months later, about 6 months later, we had a pandemic. So yeah. I do hope that show will still go somewhere. We had a beautiful team surrounding that show, and we had Anne's stamp of approval, and that was actually my first way in to actually connect one-on-one with Anne, was through that musical. So
that must have been a thrill for you to get to know her.
It really, really was. When I told her we sold out the Rebecca Cohen Auditorium in Halifax, I got my favorite email of my life, which was from Anne, and it just said, "Attaboy."
Very nicely done. We should also point out that you're a solo artist, too. You do your own stuff as well. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I am. And really I've known for a year and a half that some version of this tour was coming up. And as I said, I sing a lot of different material, and I really wanted to, when I knew rock fans might be paying a little bit of attention to me, I wanted to have some more rock material out in the world. And so long story short, I ended up recording recently a song that my dad's band from the 70s in Halifax, Titan, they were called. I re-recorded their biggest hit. And I got to have my dad and a few of his bandmates in the studio with me. And then a few of my friends as well. So I released my debut rock single, which was like a revival of this hit Halifax 1970s rock track. And that's called Won't You Come With Me.
And your dad must have been absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, it was pretty special. There were so many reasons that recording that single was special, and one of which, of course, was the family connection. I'm so close with my family. I have a house in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, 10 houses away from my parents' house where I grew up, and directly in the middle, my sister, my only sibling, has her house. So I look out my kitchen window and I can see my parents' house and my sister's house. So to get to kind of connect my music world with my family world, that's really special when that happens.
Yeah, that is so cool. Well, Geordie, thank you very much for speaking with us. Enjoy your return to Calgary.
Thank you so much. Really looking forward to it.
All right, thank you. And Foreigner performs with Geordie Brown Thursday, November 6th at the Winsport Event Centre.